One look and I breathe. One touch feels.
I want to go to the original review that I did for this book. This is on page 5, and this was my original review, but now I want to create a book board for it, and I want to make the book board specifically for the songs that reminded me of the book. So as you know, I like to turn everything into elements, but I do go back and delete those elements later on. But I'm going to use a few of these on my book board so I don't have to recreate them, because I no longer have them saved. They're still made as elements. For instance, if I'm on just the lasso tool and I tap on something, it's just gonna grab that one thing. I wanted to grab the complete element that I made before. So if I tap here, now I have that element. And I'm going to save it again, and I'm going to make a new collection to prepare for my book board. So I'm just going to put new book board, and I'll delete this later. It's just as if you were collecting things to do a journal that is physical. It is the same way that you would collect things to do a digital journal. So I have that one. I'm just gonna do these for a few more that I know I'm going to bring over. So now that I have those elements, I wanna go ahead and get ready to create my book board. So down here where it is the wooden notebook, that's where we keep our book boards. I'm gonna click here. I always like to make my bookshelf match the cover. So I'm gonna go and grab the cover that I already have in here saved. I'm gonna use my shapes tool. And it doesn't have to be exact right now. We'll fix that by tapping on the shape and making it to fit exactly how we want it. And now I want to change the color, so I'm going to grab my lasso tool here. So grab my shape, color. I want to do a custom color. Use my pen dropper and figure out exactly which color I want. I like that blue. Okay. So now I'll go ahead and I will put in the information. So I want to center this. So I'm going to tap here. I'm on my text tool, click the paragraph and make this centered. So now I'm grabbing my lasso tool. I'm going to resize. Grab, tap, press resize. Now for the fun part of actually creating the book board. I have 6 songs in mind that reminded me of the book. So I'm going to grab a playlist. I'm going to use yellow and blue. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Now I have all of those finished. I'm going to go ahead and resize these. I'm going to grab them all together and click on resize. I'm going to put the name of the songs that I'm going to use on top of the playlist. The first song is Comfortable, and this is by the artist Her. She's like H-E-R, and this is by Lauryn Hill. I have Pretty Wings by Maxwell. I have Make You Miss Me by Sam Hunt. So I have my 6 songs. I want to make sure that they are all center. So just like I did earlier, we'll go ahead and center each one of these. To get these to show up better on our playlist, we are going to change the color of the font to white. So I'm going to use my lasso tool and grab all of the font, press color, and change to white. I'm only going to have text box on just to make sure I'm not grabbing my images by accident. All of our players have been filled out. At this point, I'm going to turn them into elements so it's easier for me to grab together later. Just going to make sure that my images is on. I'm going to make sure I grab the text as well as the image to turn it into an element. And we're going to put it in here for a new book board, and we're going to delete this because that is not an element at the moment. Those are just individuals, and we want to make sure that we are only using elements. So next, let's go ahead and grab a thought bubble. Now I'm going to layer my thought bubbles along with a white one to give it some dimension. So for this first one here, I want to duplicate this white 2 times. So let's go ahead and duplicate, because I want one for the blue and I want one for the, I'm going to make sure that this is in the front and this is behind it, so it has a bit of layering, because that's what gives it more of a realistic vibe, in my personal opinion. So let's go ahead and turn this into an element. We'll go ahead and grab our songs again. And I only got rid of them earlier so they wouldn't be in my way while I'm preparing everything else. And so we have 3 yellow. So I will do the yellow 3 times. And then we have 3 blues. I already have lyrics that I want to go into each bubble. I picked 1 sentence from each song to put into my thought bubble that I will connect to my playlist. Let's go ahead and actually resize these so they are all about the same size. So let's make sure images is on, text box is off, so I don't accidentally grab that. And I want to resize it to where it kind of, let's zoom in here, will fit off to the side or on top of my actual playlist. So let's go ahead and grab these and make them a little bit bigger. So this first set is comfortable. Make sure it is blue and it matches. And I'm going to group this together. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that for all of them. The last thing I want to do is I want to grab the quotes that I had in my original review. So I'm going to go back to my original review, and I'm going to make sure that only text box is turned on. So I'm going to copy the 3 quotes here, but I only want to bring over the text and not anything else. Let's go back to our book board. And I'm going to put those quotes on top of another sticker. This time I'm going to use a quote sticker. I'm going to use it in white. So we have 3 quotes. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste the quotes. And I'm going to place each quote on top of a quote sticker. So we want to turn back on text boxes to ensure that we're grabbing all of it. At this point now, I'm just going to put everything together. I want to put the pictures of my characters on top of these cute little pink clouds. So I have 1 cloud here. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to put another cloud down here. On top of that, I will add my characters. And we have Mal. Now let's go ahead and add our songs. Now I'm going to grab a quote from each song. And this is when I start to maneuver things around to figure out exactly where I want them to go, because I never actually truly know. If you remember, I grabbed this from my original book review, but I do not want the circle that's in the back. So I'm going to click on the lasso tool, just the circle, and get rid of it. This here is still an element. So I'm going to click back on elements because they had like a really cute little date. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send this to the back. And now you can see why I turn things into elements. It's because I don't always know where I want them to go. Therefore, if it is already an element, I can move it around together. Go back to elements so I can grab this together and not separate, and go ahead and send it to the back. And I'm going to maneuver some things around. Now I want to put this cloud set behind this image, and let's go ahead, arrange and send to the back. So now you get an idea of exactly why I turn everything into elements, because when I get to the point where I'm putting everything together, I literally want to be able to move things without having to do them one at a time, but I can still group them. Let's go ahead and grab our quotes. So we have 3 quotes. And I'll see exactly where I want these quotes to go. I might have to change some sizing of things, but that's okay. So in the end, this is my complete book board for Between Friends and Lovers by Miss Shirlene. I hope that this helps and give you an idea of what you can do with your own book boards. Thanks for watching. Bye.